Hello, Facebook. Let y'all chime on in with us here.
Kirk
We got
Franklin
a
make
whole
you forget to listening to gospel. Hey y'all, keep on coming in.
fact to give y'all this the spirit today, y'all, because we had a crash yesterday. Woo. Now I want y'all to jump like y'all feel the spirit.
Hi Timothy.
Hey, Timothy.
I got the victory.
No weapon formed against me shall prosper. You got a minute before we roll out.
Okay, y'all, we're gonna go ahead and get this party started today.
They got a minute, Vaughn. You too early.
Oh, I'm ahead of myself. Okay, I'll give y'all a minute to get ready.
I'm trying to get y'all in the groove, honey. She want to just jump in there and start talking.
Like I'm ready to go, honey. I'm ready to go. After yesterday, y'all, we we had to get the sleep on that one. Hi, Sophia. Hey, Chris.
Hey, y'all. Yeah. What y'all know about that? I'm putting on my glasses off. I can't see nothing. I never can. I can't see nothing. I be blind on this live. So we're gonna roll it out, y'all. I'm about to punch you in the eye. I'm gonna let this play. Then I'm gonna end it.
Hey, Rocky.
Come on.
Franklin makes you forget to listening to gospel.
Let me reel all y'all up in here. Oh yeah, we got church ain't going nowhere. Oh yeah, we got church ain't going nowhere.
Okay, Chris, we'll be here.
Okay, y'all, here we go.
Thank you, Sophia.
Hello, happy Thursday.
Hey, everybody, and we thank y'all for coming back with us today after the day we had and the topic we had yesterday. It got turned to the left, but it turned out good. But
yeah, it was like a negative that turned into a big positive all in one breath, y'all. But it was, I had a headache when I got off live yesterday.
Well, I just want to say about yesterday. The thing with that is I like to know who I'm dealing with. I would rather know where a person is coming from and how they are rather than them sitting in my face thinking that they're one way and they hating me the whole time they sitting there. With him, you know where he's coming from. You know how to keep your distance. But anyway, with that being said, that was yesterday. We on a whole new day today with hopefully some positive vibes and we can get this topic jumped off. I know it's going to step on a lot of people's toes, but hey, it's a conversation that needs to be had too.
Hello from Japan. Hello, Christopher Jordan.
Hey, Priscilla, aka Sunshine. Okay, are you one of the hypocritical people that attend church every Sunday and then act a whole ass out here in these streets like you don't go to church on Sundays or every Sunday or Bible study and everything else on Wednesdays and all this kind of stuff? We've all, and let me say this. Nobody is perfect. This is a no judgment zone. No topic is off limits. So whatever you want to say or whatever it is, hey, just bring it and we're going to talk about it. But there are a lot of people who are in the church and they're so holy, holier than thou, but the pure devil when they not in the church. Now, the only problem I got with that is if you're going to walk the walk and talk the talk, be who you say you are. Don't act like you one way behind the church doors. And then when you outside the church, don't nobody know who you are because you're doing all kinds of things. you know, and you, but when you're in church, you acting like you haven't done anything, you perfect, you turn your nose down at people and all this type of stuff. Well, I'm here to tell you, nobody is perfect. And there's a whole lot of devils inside the church that's on the outside of the church. I'm just saying, I'm just going to put it out there. I know a lot of people don't get mad and a lot of people ain't going to like it, but it is what it is. So, Shelly, what's your take on that?
I feel like when God's coming, he's going to start with the church. You got people that go to church, they leave the club and go to church on Sunday, honey. They leave the club Saturday, they go in outfit from the club straight to the church. And they get re-dipped, double dipped, triple dipped. They come out, you go up the street at the gas station, they cussing you out, they cussing your mammy out, your children out. I mean, it's horrible. Some of the way people behave outside of the church, and they be the first ones to tell you, I'm saved and I got Jesus in me and I got the Holy Spirit and I've been blessed. What people need to stop doing is using the Lord's name in vain and saying they sanctified when they really not. If you're going to walk the walk, talk the talk, if you're going to be a leader, lead by example. Because when people see you and they think you are this person that are of upper leadership, or you walk for something and then you don't really walk for nothing. You got to stand and fall for something at one time. You can't be on both sides of these fence, honey. That's not how this works.
But they do it all the time. And so it could get deep, you know, but that's what we want to talk about, because, you know, you see so many people, you know, and they see somebody, oh, you know, she did this and she did that, but then you see them out, they cussing, stealing, all kinds of shit out here in these streets. So, you know, nobody is better than the next person. And, you know, you have to know God for yourself first and foremost. So whatever you're doing in the church, I mean, I've gone to church and, you know, I've been saved before and all that type of thing. And I've backslid because I'm not perfect. And the one thing about that is God is a forgiving God. It's the people who don't forgive. You got to know that.
Exactly. I mean, no one's judging people. No one's saying that you can't, you know, if you're in the streets and you're doing stuff, no one's saying don't do what you're doing. But what I'm saying, if you're going to be at church and you're going to be acting like you're saved, quote unquote, in the church, and then you outside and you have people looking up to you, when they see you doing something crazy, the first thing they're going to say is, well, dang, that brother's doing that over here. Why should I change my walk if he's doing it right then? He's of leadership, or he's of some standards. It's just like a pastor out doing wrong. Everything goes up and everything comes down all at one time.
Mm-hmm. Chris said, why you got the echo? But Chris, okay, what is wrong with going to the club, getting up and going to church? Just ask. Nothing is wrong with that. That's what you want to do. A lot of people, my mama used to say, if you can get up, go out to the club every Saturday, you can get up for the Lord on Sunday and go to church. I did it, but I'm still going to party when I was younger. That weekend coming back up. That don't make you a bad person. It don't make you this and another. But when I'm in church, or when I was going to church, I wasn't trying or pretending to be something that I am not. That's the biggest thing for me. Like, you know, you got people that, I'm gonna just put it out there. You got people in the church, women that's after the pastor, know the pastor wife sitting up there on the front pew every Sunday or whatever, and the preacher dipping and dabbing in the congregation too. So how are you gonna lead a flock when you out here being messy yourself? That's somebody I don't want to listen to, and I don't want to follow in behind, because what you want your flock to follow you, but you want them to follow you to hell. Okay, I mean, you know, I'm not.
I mean, you can't try to be something that you're typically not. When Chris said, "What's wrong with going to the club and the church?" There's nothing wrong with it, Chris. But my problem with it is, if you're in the club and you're grinding and you're bumping and you're up here gyrating on women and you're acting a certain kind of way, and a lot of people do this. A lot of pastors preach about this. You go to church and you ask for forgiveness and you're asking God to cleanse you and wash this off of you and get this air from around you, and you go, you get reborn, cry on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you back at the club on Saturday again, you back to church doing the same thing on Sunday. And sometimes things just become repetitious into where it's like, how do you keep forgiving for the same thing over and over and over again? It's like, come on. I figure just be a devil. I mean, if you're going to be a devil, be the devil. If you're going to run out here and sin. Don't be both sides of the fence, and don't be preaching to other people if you know you ain't walking the walk.
Yes, Sophia. Yeah, there's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that's deeply involved in the church that be on some bullshit. I've seen it for myself, and I'm not talking about things that I don't know. I've seen it myself. So, that's why like people be like, well, why you don't go to church? I ain't seen you in church. God is everywhere. I can praise God in my house every single day, which is what I do. And I don't have to go to nobody's church to tell me that I need or have to have Jesus. I already know I got that. So I don't need somebody to validate that for me because I know what it is to me for myself. And I'm not religious, I'm spiritual. It's a big difference. People get the two mixed up. You can be religious about anything. You could be religious about running in the streets, getting some money, religious about shopping, religious. But when you're spiritual, that's your connection to God and with your inner self. It's totally different. So, and when you talk about religion and politics, it gets really, really touchy because people get very, very offended. But I just want to know what, some people's views are about it. Because like I said, by no means are we perfect. Nobody is. But don't point your finger and down somebody else when behind closed doors, you're doing all types of shit that is not godly. That's all I'm saying.
Christopher said some of the biggest freaks he ever met over the years have been big church members.
I believe.
And I totally agree because you have a lot of people, a lot of women always want to say, oh, I want to find a man that goes to church and he praises the Lord and he does all this stuff. And then you get this man who is supposed to be religious and then he come home to you and he's still out running at the church member, still sleeping with somebody in the church, bringing you to the church one Sunday and the next girl to the church the following Sunday. And nobody says anything because this is how and they waved you and everything. Hey, how you doing, sister such and such? And they didn't saw you with somebody else last Sunday. And that is true. Vonda, you just muted your microphone, honey. Unmute your microphone. Your microphone is muted.
Sorry, y'all. We get a little ratchet here and there. Well, she does. I don't do that.
Whatever. Vonda is saved and praise to Jesus, y'all. I'm the naughty, but all the above.
Listen, I got to stay prayed up.
Anything. I don't walk no walk and try to be nothing that I'm not. I don't be in people's face trying to be like, oh, I don't do that. Oh, I ain't never did that. Oh, I don't do that. I just be me and pray about what I do.
That's all I know how to be is myself. Hey, Jeffrey, how are you doing? But, that's just my thing. Like I said yesterday, I walk in my truth. I don't try to be something I'm not. Don't try to be somebody, trying to be somebody else. I'm happy with who I am. When I look in the mirror every day, I'm good with that. You know what I'm saying? So whatever anybody else got to think about me, hey, that's your opinion of me. It don't make me do nothing no different. I'm still going to be myself, regardless of what you may think of me. But what I don't do is I don't play with God. I don't do that. So,
because you got to think at the end of the day, he knows your heart. Even if you sitting in church and you trying to be all whatever you want to be, religious, saved, whatever you want to call yourself, even if you sitting, he already know your heart. So you ain't fooling nobody. You may be fooling some church members. You may be fooling some people around you. And I don't care how much you put in your tithes and how much you think your spirit's going to be reborn because you tithe, or I come and I give half my paycheck and the Lord done cover me. No, the Lord ain't covering your money, baby. That ain't how you get your blessings. You got to walk the walk, you gotta talk the talk, and you gotta live. And if you ain't doing it, you ain't got no business telling nobody else what to do with their life. Period, point blank.
Hey, shit. And another thing I'm gonna say is when people say that they're Christian. Well, I'm a Christian. If you're a true Christian, you don't have to tell nobody you're a Christian because they're going to see it in your actions and your movement and the way you do things. And you should never have to say, well, I'm a devout Christian. I do this. Well, if you all that, you don't have to tell anybody because it's going to show. You don't need to tell somebody what you do for somebody in the church. If I do something for somebody, it's from the kindness of my heart. And nobody will ever know that I did that for you unless they tell you themselves. That's just how I am. And that's how, when people, in the church or whatever, they want to force on you how Christian they are. But then you sit here judging somebody else. The Bible say, judge ye not, unless you be judge yourself. So how are you going to sit here and throw stones at a glass house when your house is falling all apart, your husband in there, he probably sleeping with a man or sleeping with another woman or whatever the case may be. But you ain't talking about that. But you could talk about Miss Johnson, Miss Jackson, and everybody else's house over here. Clean your own house up and sweep off your own porch before you go messing and dibbing and dabbing in somebody else's. And you need to mind the business that pay your bills and stay out of other folks' business. That's what I'm gonna say about that.
Christopher said something Christopher said, and Christopher is so small on my screen, Vonda, you want to take that one because it's so little, honey, I can't.
Well, will you let me tell the people what he said? Okay.
Yes, go ahead.
Preach. I know some of your viewers won't like this comment that I'm about to make, but following a religion that has been here for years to keep us down, I will not do. Christianity was introduced to us by slave owners. Why do we think they're going to give us information to help us out? And you're right. You are right. I agree with that. And a lot of people won't like it because, we, like you said, we've been taught all these things. And that's why I say, when people have children, for instance, and you are a religion, I believe, this is just me, myself, I believe in, raising your child up right. If you go to church, take your child to church and let them, as they get older, decide what religion they want to follow, if any at all, because you've put your views on this child. You can explain how everything goes or whatever, but let them decide for themselves. Like I said, God is not into religion. But that's just my whole thing. When children get old enough, like, you get your kids baptized early and, you got them following this faith or that faith, but they still don't even know what they're following. Let them educate them or allow them to be educated on things so that they can choose for themselves as they get older and learn to understand how things are and what is and what's not. If y'all get what I'm saying.
Because how do you know what your child's path is going to be? They might want to be a Muslim. They might want to be a Buddhism. They might want to be non-denominational. You never know. But when you start putting all this pressure on people and telling them religion, I mean, you have some people, their houses are so spiritual to the point where you can't even make a mistake in the house, like period. And then you're looking at your parents and you're looking at them and they ain't living the right life, but they telling you all the stuff that you're supposed to do. That's the right walk. And I grew up in a house that was strict like that. And I fled. I ran to the left. So I was like, oh no, y'all ain't getting me. And I was gone. And it wasn't like a bad thing. I mean, I'm not saying that's a bad thing because my mama really tried, but I didn't want that. I was like, oh, no. I'm going to figure this out. So I was like the devil's sheep of my family, honey. They'll tell you that in a minute. I was a rebel, and I was. I had to learn on my own. I didn't believe in being hypocritical. I didn't believe in, like, people would always say, girl, you so out there. No, I'm not out there. I'm living my life. And when I decide to be reborn and saved, I'm going to know I'm supposed to be. Now, if you look at me now, I might be a whole nother person. But back then I was doing what everybody else was doing. I was going to church, preaching and praising and leaving and just being the devil on the side. So what's the purpose of being on both sides of the fence? And finally I say, you know what? Let me hop over here on this side and just be wrong for a little while in this world. And then when I'm tired of the world and the worldly ways, I'm gonna pull myself back in. So now I think I live a pretty narrowed and calm life, but it comes a time for that. You got to grow into that stuff. You can't just your walk and your path ain't always my path. My time and your time might be different. You might see Brother Johnson out there cussing out the lady at the pump, and you might be like, "Oh Lord, Brother Johnson is going." That might be really Brother Johnson. I'm saying Brother Johnson.
Right. Jeffrey said free will. Yeah, but that's the thing too. People have to find themselves. You can't just throw somebody into something. And I hate when people try to force and push a religion on somebody. Just because that's your belief, don't force that on somebody else. Let somebody else decide what it is they want or what path they want to choose for themselves, not the one that you think they're supposed to have, or the path that you think they're supposed to go down. Because what's for me and what's for you is not for everybody. What might be meant for you ain't meant for me.
But then the Bible does say, don't become unevenly yoked. So if
You're
you're looking
breaking
for a
up.
spouse, you might want to have somewhat of the same religion. I said, if you're looking for a spouse, you might want to have somewhat of the same religion, because the Bible also say don't become unevenly yoked.
So what if one is
And what do
religious
you
and the other
guys
one is
feel about that?
spiritual?
So that's when you got to kind of weigh your options. Like if you know that you're a spiritual person and you know you're looking for a certain kind of person in your life, I wouldn't say go after someone who's of the world, because you might not be able to reel that person in. That person might be who they are already, and then you're trying to make them become what you are, which always causes confusion. So you may as well, if you're a Christian and you want to go find you a Christian, go get a Christian person that you think is going to be able to make you unevenly yoked, basically.
Well, no, that's why I was saying. That's why I said there's a difference between religiousness, and spirituality. Because if you spiritual, you could pretty much, you kind of know which direction you want to go. But if you're religious and you both got two different religions, that's where a lot of conflict comes into relationships. Because if you got a Muslim man and a Christian woman, the woman is supposed to conform over to the male's religion, but it doesn't work like that all the time. And a lot of times that causes problems, which is going to make you unevenly yoked. And sometimes the woman will go on over to do whatever her husband is, but you have different rules and regulations when you in certain types of religions. And I know I'm a person that I can't conform to a whole lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I have to be free to be me. I don't need anybody making any decisions for me as to where my faith is supposed to lie. I know what that is for myself. I don't need somebody to tell me, well, you need to be doing this. And if you're going to be with me, you got to do that. No, I'm going to do what I've been doing and what I want to do when it comes to that. Because guess what? At the end of the day, and at the end, when I'm standing in front of God to be judged, I'm going to have to answer for everything that I did for myself. That's not going to reflect on you. It's going to reflect on me. You understand? So,
right.
Back
So
to
you can't. And a lot of people was raised the right way. I mean, what I don't like, what does turn me off a lot is like when I meet people or I meet guys and they go, oh, they might say like, I want to have sex before I'm married. I'm not a cursor. I'm not someone who, likes to be in the clubs. And then you date them for like about a good 2 or 3 weeks. And then you hear the curse words popping out their mouth. And then they're trying to have sex with you out of wedlock. And then they come with all this extra, but then they was high. So now you confused about who they really are because they done portrayed to be somebody totally different than what they put on the table. That's what the kind of hypocrisy that I don't like. If you're saying you don't do something, just don't damn do it. If you say you want to have a wife and you want to have a virgin wife, then get that. But don't sit there and preach it and then don't walk it. Don't say I'm not a cursor, and then when I turn around, you say, oh, that motherfucker done did this. That ain't how you do this. That don't fly right with me.
Right. Jeffrey said that is true. My ex-wife and I did that. I was all in the way. I walk as a man of God, but I put things in a balanced life. Okay, I'm not sure what you mean by that, Jeffrey.
What do you mean by balanced life? Like, explain it, because Jeffrey preaches a lot. So, can I explain what you mean by that? Hey, Brian, thank you for joining. Once you post it, we'll read it because I kind of got confused
on that statement.
Yes, Christopher, a virgin wife. Like a virgin. Not saying like Virgin Mary, but I'm saying not Chris, not like a real live virgin, but I'm saying like some men will meet a woman and they will say, oh, I don't want to sleep with you right now. I just want to get to know you. And then 2 seconds later, they trying to get in your drawers, but then they telling you, I go to church and I'm living this walk and I'm trying to be a Christian. First of all, you can't be shacked up with no woman and saying you're trying to live the right life. That ain't gonna work. You can't be trying to have no woman live with you unmarried if you're trying to live the right life. Not if you're really trying to live it the right way. You can't be trying to be cussing the kids out on Friday, calling them all kinds of MFs and BFs and all kinds of stuff. And then you talking about, oh, I want to do this right. If you're going to say you're going to do something right, then you need to be doing exactly that. Walking the walk and talking the talk. That is where I say the hypocrisy comes in. If you saw your pastor somewhere just cussing somebody out and you done seen him in church and he preaching and he's leading you, your mindset's going to be, oh my God, that's the pastor and he was acting a whole fool. How many pastors right now have been on the news? Sexual harassment, rape, sleeping with men, getting kicked out the pulpit. A whole bunch of them. Why? Because they get caught up in the life of the world.
Okay, so what about the pastor girl posted him eating her coochie?
Huh?
And it was all over Facebook and YouTube and everything.
Oh, you gave me cramps, girl. I wasn't ready.
Yeah, he did. Like, so you up here preaching to people, but then you got your head out between this woman's legs and you married and she recording you. And she released it on social media, all over social media. So, people were coming to his defense and all this type of stuff, and don't get me wrong, a man is still a man. You could be a man of God, and all that kind of stuff, but a man is going to be a man. If somebody landed out there and the opportunity presents itself, 9 times out of 10, he going to take it. And that's just a fact. Hey, Keisha. Keisha said, what do you think of this boyfriend mother came to my house, and out of respect for her, I played gospel music for her, and she removed my things off my kitchen table and put the biggest Bible that I ever saw in my life. And she was at your house, Keisha. You should have kindly pulled her to the side and listen. I'm telling you about this now. You should have politely told her, look, I invited you into my home. I don't mind you coming, but when you come up in here, what you believe is what you believe, but don't you move none of my stuff. If you don't want to come here,
no,
you don't have
to nothing at my house, honey. No.
You can see your son at your house, and when I come to your house, I don't touch any of your things. You need to respect my space. And that's what I would have told her. And you didn't have to be disrespectful, but you're a grown woman. She shouldn't come to your house taking nothing off your table, period. Now, I don't like that. That just kind of tick me off. You don't do that to nobody. But
no.
Latoya said, some of the freaks be the ones in the church. Holy Ghost on them dicks. She said, Holy Ghost on them dicks and throwing them tails in a circle. Laugh out loud. Most of those very ones that be judging folks, but so holy than getting pat down at the club on Saturday night. Yup, you are so. Hey, Brian.
You're so right. Yeah, Brian said, yeah, I'm back.
Right, Keisha. That's what it sounds like. Them the ones you got to watch too, Keisha. Them the ones them Bible told us, them ones you got to watch, because them be the ones telling everybody business in the church and doing everything under the sun a lot of times. Not all of them. Some of them be true to their word, but some of them be, just trying to make up for some of the shit they done in their life. But now they think don't nobody know about it and think they squeaky clean just because they into the church now. Chris said
Christopher said a pastor here in Winston-Salem got 2 choir members. Go ahead.
Oh, you was reading. Go ahead. Can you see it? Anyway, he said a pastor.
I'm trying to blow it up.
A pastor here in Winston-Salem got 2 choir members pregnant, and he's still preaching. They still follow his ass. Shaking my head. See, that kind of bullshit right there. That's what I'm talking about. Let me ask you, Chris.
And he probably got a wife too.
I was asking Chris, is he a married pastor? Because when a man is single and he's a pastor, that opens up a whole lot of troubles for him, because all the women be throwing church draws at him. And the hat.
Yeah, but everybody trying to be the first lady. That's why everybody want to be the first lady with the hat on.
Yeah. I know I saw that, but just be real.
And Brian said wrong. Jeffrey said, oh no. How the hell did that just pop up?
Okay. Is this the wrong time to say I slept with 2 women in my mother's board? What?
Orlando, that's horrible.
It ain't his fault they let him do it.
He said just playing. You're so stupid.
Yeah, Keisha, you need to nip that in the bud, baby.
Yeah, you can't come to nobody's house and be trying to move no tables and stuff. That's insanity.
I wish you would. He told Latoya, I need to meet them. I need to see something. Oh, God. He is married. So what his wife say? She know that he got the women pregnant.
She has to know.
Hey, the preacher is married.
Most people know. Hey, Ernest. But that's a lot of pastors, though. A lot of pastors in the church sleep with a lot of people in the church. I'm here to tell you that right now. Don't think they don't, because they do.
What Latoya said, she had an incident where she met a pastor from here, which is Hickory, and as he invited me to his church, then turned around and started about my ass. I was like, really? Girl.
Yeah, and he probably preached really good on Sunday. He probably was looking all under your little skirt tail too, Latoya. That's how
That's all he started thinking about was her ass. Keisha said, so you can't have sex with the church members if they're not married or have a girlfriend? No, that's not what we said.
No.
We said that, what? Wait a minute, let me make sure I read this right. So you can't have sex with the church members if they not married or have a girlfriend. You can do what you want to do, but we're just talking about.
We saying, Keisha, what we're saying is if you're saying that you're living a life of the Lord, and if you're going by the Bible tells you, the pastor will tell you this, that you're not supposed to be having sex unmarried. First of all, that's wrong. So if you go to the church and you're seeking out a husband or you're seeking out a boyfriend, you could be his boyfriend, his girlfriend, but you shouldn't be dicking him down, or he shouldn't be dicking you down, and you damn sure shouldn't be sleeping with the brother that's married, or you shouldn't be even looking at the pastor. But then some of the pastors do look good, though. I ain't gonna lie.
Well, what about the pastor that's fucking the little boy? And looking
well, there's a whole lot of them that do that, honey.
Dean said a pastor wants some ass too.
I know, but you know, most of the pastors have first ladies, Dean.
Some do, some don't. Some have boyfriends and lovers. Latoya said, I didn't even enter the church. I was like, shit, I'm fighting my own demons. I'm trying to go into church, I'm not trying to go into
church and play with God and absorb my demons. See?
Yeah,
that's how I feel. I feel like, get my life right before I be out here cutting fool, because I be the one somebody spot and say, oh, girl, I just saw you. So no, I'm not trying to do that either. I'm not trying to have nobody running me down for what I did wrong Sunday.
Well, the churches, when I do decide to go to church, the people in the churches I go to, they know me and they know I keep it 100. I don't play that. Because, you know, I used to go to a church and they go witnessing and knocking on people's doors and all this stuff. And wasn't Jehovah's Witnesses, but they'll come and just pop up. So one day they came to my house and I was getting ready to do something. I said, hold on, let me tell y'all something. Don't come here if you don't call first. They was like, we know you don't. I said, well, if you don't like it, y'all go ahead and back on up out my driveway and I'll see y'all on Sunday. I don't play that. Don't do that because it's disrespectful. You let somebody know, because you don't know what a person may be doing, what they're into, or anything could have been happening, but I just wasn't feeling it. So don't just pop up at my house. So from the gate, they know we better call. If we go to her house, we better call her first, because she ain't going to let you in. And if she there, she'll look at you through the door and tell you going about your way. And that's just me. I don't like that. Latoya said, well, I'm going straight to hell. She said, I'm going straight to hell because if I see a fish in the house of the Lord and he want to amen and look and fine as hell, I say, amen, what's your number? I can't with you, girl.
I can't with you at all. I cannot do it at all. You are too funny to me. But I feel like you, Latoya. I feel like, you know, some people you can't, you know, you be looking in the church, some of them brothers be looking like just extra in the church. Some about the church men is walking by going, amen, look a little stronger. And you can always tell when your pastor's going south, y'all. I mean, you know, sometimes it's better to have the old school pastors that don't really want to be in the tight shirts and the Rolex watches and driving the Benz. You know, sometimes it's just good to have a regular old peaceful old little church, little peaceful old pastor that just want to preach, honey. That's what people need, the old school pastors. These new ones, honey, these new school pastors be scared the hell out of me. I ain't gonna lie.
Orlando said, if I answer the door naked, that'll cut them pop-up visits. I bet it will. Keisha said, okay. Keisha said, so I have an adult toy business that I've been doing for a while. I am a child of God and I've been told that my business is not of the Lord's plan for me. Let me tell you something. The Lord gave you a brain to use and to think. And what is good for you is not good for everybody else. If you sit around and you go by what somebody's telling you ain't good for you and you shouldn't be doing that because of this, that, and the other, then you let them people go on and you continue to do what you do for yourself.
Can you hit me up after the show in my inbox?
But Liz, hold on. So anyway, you know, that's just like when You have pastors and people that's real religious and their kids are into music and they won't let them do secular music. That's a gift from God. So why are you making this person sit on the gift because of your religious beliefs? And so many people have, turned their kids away and disown their kids because they're pursuing their dream of the music that they want to do. If they're not doing church music, gospel music, or whatever, they no longer in the family. So listen, you sell all the dildos and vibrators that you want to sell. Pray about it. God is gonna forgive you. Them people ain't probably paying none of your bills, and do what you do. That doesn't make. I mean, God gave people a mind to think. That's something that's for you. It may not be for them. So don't listen to them people. Do what you got to do for yourself. Because I bet you if you need some help, you call any of them, they ain't going to help you do nothing. So don't get caught up on,
because that's pretty much the fact.
Yeah, so don't get caught up on what somebody else is thinking about what you should be doing for yourself and your family. Because at the end of the day, you're going to have to answer for whatever you do anyway. So anyway, hey, Jess. A lot of people have reasons why they don't go to church. If you want to live for God and do want to be in church, just know why you are there and don't worry why everybody else is there. Trust God knows for him. That's exactly what we said, baby. So yeah. Chris said
I was talking about the dildos.
Huh?
I was telling
wasn't
it? I told Keisha to hit me up with the dildos.
In my inbox. She close to you too, Keisha. She in Georgia. So Chris said, well, the church that I used to go to when I went to church had women in there that dressed extra, extra sexy, low cut tops, short dresses, and it was hard for me to keep my thoughts holy, like really hard. No pun intended.
No, damn,
a lot of people go to church to find a man or a woman.
And they do.
And they dress like they going to the club just to get them. So, hey, I guess it's fair game in the church house too, in the house of the Lord.
She said, she said, right, my business is very professional and productive, and it's for married people and single people. And I think that's fine to sell penises and vaginas. Keisha, keep doing your business. People need them. We need them in our lives.
And they probably the main ones because they want to sit in the church and they be the horniest people on the planet. So, and then you got people. You're welcome, Keisha. But then you got people that get married just so they can have sex and not feel bad about it. Okay, Keisha, that's cool. Because we'll be ordering some of your stuff. But you have people that get married just so they can have sex and not feel guilty about it. So do you think that's right or wrong that you're getting married for the wrong reasons just so you don't feel bad about fornicating?
Yeah, and that's what a lot of people do. And that's the wrong reason. They be like, "Oh, I'm just gonna get married." You end up marrying and cheating. So your man should just wait. And some people want to test the waters before they get married. Some guys and some women be like, "I want to know what it's gonna feel like before I get it. What if it's bad? What if it's horrible? What if I ain't like it?" I mean, you go through that too. So people got their reasons. Some people don't want to test to see if it's gonna be great in the cutty sack. I can't post Latoya's on. It's too big to put on the screen. It's gonna cover your face.
Okay, she said, I just feel like people quit forcing the church in the word and let one's heart be touched by God, then the church be filled and maybe more souls be touched. I mean, church these days, you can't feel safe. You talk with a pastor and by Wednesday Bible study night, sister. Let me start over, y'all. I mean, church these days, you can't feel safe. You talk with the pastor, and by Wednesday Bible study night, Sister Jenkins know all your business, or cause who your family or your past folks know they judge. That's why church is so empty. People won't always have something to say. Always have something to say. Someone chooses or have done instead of just allowing someone just to be them. Playing with God. And that's true. That's what we were saying earlier. That is true. And because you go to church don't make you saved.
He said Chris said maybe he need to go to church again because single life is getting old. Yeah, single life can be lonely sometimes, I'm sure. But then
embrace
Yeah, because honey, Chris, you might go ahead and get married to get a girlfriend, and you be running back to be single, honey. Just slow down, slow down.
What's that blues of slow rolling? Yeah, that one.
Yeah, slow
But
rolling, honey. Be careful what you ask for.
yeah, Latoya said, so I have a question. Is it wrong for people that's married and church going be swingers and have threesomes? Girl, you'd be surprised
Yes,
the ones in church who do it.
but they
I got
do. They do it
I know
anyway.
somebody that they do this and they go meet these couples in hotels and all kinds of stuff. And they into church, they into the church, they into like stuff in the communities and all types of stuff that you would never think they do this type of shit, but they do it. And I think that's playing with God. If you like so calling the church, you Christian, you trying to do this and you do that or whatever, don't do that. If you're gonna do something, just do it. Be real with it, but don't be playing with the Lord or hiding behind God to do some more messed up stuff and then think it's all supposed to be okay.
Thank you, Keisha.
Chris said, no, marriage. Been there, done that.
So you just want a booty call, Chris. That's what you're asking for. You don't want a wife. You just want a boo. Then you just be honest and say you want a boo. That's what you got. That's what you got to tell people. I don't want no wife. I don't want nobody laying in the bed long.
He don't want
you
no
just want somebody that's gonna come through every once in a while. So the truth be told, if we're gonna tell the truth, then there really is a lot of hypocrites in church. Yeah. That's why when the Lord said when he come into the church, honey, he's starting there.
See, Latoya said, because I had a deacon say it's not wrong because it's him and his wife both agree and accept to satisfy each other without cheating. I'm like, what? Huh? That's what I said.
Ain't that you all cheating? I mean, come on.
You the deacon,
that's crazy.
But you want to swing and have all this extra curriculum. I'm telling you, them be the biggest freaks. I'm telling you.
I'm telling you, if I can sit here and call out some pastors without going to hell and pissing off half of America, I can bring something to the table, honey, that I done seen do some dirt in my days, boy. Girl. I'd be like, Lord, look at them just out here acting like devils. I was almost the first lady once.
What'd you say?
Vonda, what you think? I said, Vonda, what you think, honey?
About what?
Do you go to church? Do you go to church and act sanctified?
No, I go to church and act like I act when I'm not at church. I'm the same all the time.
Oh Lord, we don't know Vonda going to hell, y'all.
No, I mean that don't make me a bad person. I just don't play with God. I'm just true to who I am. I ain't got time to be playing with nobody. If you ask me, did you do this or did you do that? Why? I might have did, I might not have. So
let me tell you how this works. If you're doing anything that's not in the Bible, then you doing something wrong. You are doing something wrong.
But that's everybody. Ain't no one sin bigger than the other. A sin is a sin.
They say that eating coochie is a sin because it was made for women and women, and that no man has no right to do that.
Who said that?
That was said in if you Google it, they say that when you're doing oral sex,
said that.
Oral sex was told that because if you're doing oral sex, it was created for a woman and a woman. So you should not be doing it, practicing that in your bedroom.
Who told you that?
It's on Google.
Girl, you sounded like the man last night. He Googled his fake statistics.
I know, right? He got to get me a whole migraine last night.
She said, yeah, be in my inbox, and his wife too. Like, you want to join us? We both want you. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh my God, where church you go? Because I would never go there.
But she said she be in church, long dresses, and amen, and shouting all over the youth, woman of the church. I'm like, how the hell she a freak? Right. Chris and damn Latoya, for real?
Look, even Christmas and damn Latoya, where you from? We all don't know where you from. What church you go to, honey? Because we don't want to go there.
A girl.
But yeah, that's me. It's a lot of things that's gonna start with church, though. Like, they say on Judgment Day, honey, he coming to his house first. He cleaning out that house first because a whole lot of people, honey, that probably ain't gonna make it to heaven. There's a whole lot of people gonna be some dead folks running around here talking about they done died and their sins are all washed away.
She said, "What church is this for you?"
So yeah, we all want to know what church you go to.
And she can't put a pastor on blast and the deacon on blast.
We want to know. We want to know who he is. We gonna spot him out.
Why you want to go to the church and find out who Deacon Johnson is?
Deacon Johnson. Who wants to be a swinger? Deacon Johnson is. That is hilarious. No,
Chris,
no. Y'all
see? What you need to see in that church, Chris?
What you need to see, Chris? Because Chris' mind's all somewhere else.
Chris got a dirty little mind, child.
I can tell by his little profile, his little cute self.
Mm-hmm.
Look like nothing but trouble. Like he'll be in the church sneaking in. He'll be in the church sneaking in the bathroom.
I wouldn't be shocked.
I'm telling you, that's sneaking under the pulpit. Hey, you got some people that have sex in the church.
She said, "I'm from Taylorsville, but this is a local church." She said, I'm from Taylorsville, but this is a local church. I'm pretty sure half of your audience done visited, but I will hit your inbox. Some church folks have attended my ABC parties. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Where's Toyersville? Is that in North Carolina, Hickory, or somewhere that I've never heard of?
It's on the outskirts of Hickory.
It just sounds country, Taylorsville.
It is.
Taylorsville.
They say Taylorsville.
Taylorsville. It sounds white and country. I mean, I say that out loud.
Don't harbor lies. Hey, Rhonda. Rhonda said, "The church is just a building. You have to read and the Lord for yourself. That way you know what you know and won't take someone else." That's what I said earlier, Rhonda, before you got on. You have to interpret things for yourself because people can tell you what they believe, but we can read the same thing and get a totally different meaning from it.
I love you,
baby. We love you too.
Now, it's a lot of things that's in the Bible that God said was sins, but only one thing he said was an abomination, and that was homosexuality. That grossed him out. Yeah.
Well, you got a lot of them in church too, sweetie. I mean, Sophia, you go to church and you got men and men holding hands. You got women and women holding hands. Mm-hmm. And you got them saying they going to heaven. You got some of them in the choir. You got some of them that's even reverends and pastors. You got pastors sleeping with boys. Come on, honey. Now, you know.
Now, I used to go to a church down in Atlanta, and you know what church I'm talking about. And one of the biggest churches in Atlanta, he would bash gay dudes and call them out in that pulpit so bad, and he ended up getting charged with messing with all the boys. But I was there and heard him how he bashed these guys.
It went away real quickly too.
Yeah, and he was gay as all get out. So, a lot of times it's a cover-up.
But, so, and you can always tell when a pastor's changing his walk. If you meet a pastor and a pastor comes out before he get his money and before he get on a plateau, if you go back to that same pastors who started out with these nice small churches when they was humble, the second they got some coins, they started getting bigger and buffer. Their suits got a little tighter. The gold chain started coming on. Yeah. Started popping out the hair, wearing the tight t-shirts. All the Lord done went out the building. Now you walking on the pulpit, flexing and puffing and huffing and breathing. Getting people's W-2s and tax forms to make sure they get your tithes. How do you know how these churches flow in Georgia? A whole bunch of them going straight to hell. I did not call it out. There's a whole bunch of folks going to hell messing around with these churches in Georgia. A bunch of little boys up here being raped by pastors all day, every day.
But it's a problem when you buying your deacon better gifts than your wife. That's a telltale sign, ain't it? And you the pastor, the head pastor.
She said, don't hate others for sinning directly.
But the Bible also speaks that slavery is okay. Do you think that is correct? Nope, I don't agree with that. Keisha said yes, and died soon after that. Reverend Eddie Law. Well, Keisha, I wasn't going to say the name.
I wasn't going to say no names either.
I wasn't going to say the name, but you done put it out there. So, hey. She said, I think it's a cult thing. It's sickening.
No, I think what happens is just like I think with celebrities, people just get caught up in the lifestyle. They get caught up and they forget their mission. They forget, you think about it. When you have power and money and you can do so much, after a while, fucking a woman becomes natural. Then you want to go ahead and grab on a little boy, grab on a little girl, do something different because you want to spice it up a little bit. They should be fucking animals. It's just your mind. I think what happens is you have so much power till you think you are untouchable.
You get
To the
bored.
point where you're untouchable. You get bored. So you think of the next venture, and then when you run out of things, you start doing ridiculous shit.
So, twin, what do you mean nope? Nope. What are you saying nope to? But yeah, and it's crazy though, y'all. But it's so much that go on behind the closed doors of a church, and the people that's supposed to be so sanctified and holy and all this kind of stuff. Show me who you are, so I can deal with it and judge it for myself.
Show me who you are,
but interpret what it is myself. It is, Felicia.
I don't like churches where you can't know the pastor. I think every person should know their pastor. If you got to go to church and you can't even touch the pastor, something wrong.
Yeah, I don't like that. I like to be able to walk up to my pastor, talk to him or whatever. Felicia said power is intoxicating. That is true. You have people on these power trips.
I'm telling you, it is suck you in and spit you the hell back out. I mean, you look at Kanye West, for example. I think he's a brilliant soul, but he went crazy for a whole good little while, just being on a roller coaster. Hey, now he's found the Lord. Every song he writes now is about religion.
Some people can be so smart.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. When you get into that life, when you have so much going on around you all the time that you can't even breathe, what else do you do when you're so big above your own self? You just try to find other shit to do. And then to think about what you can get away with. I can get away with that. Let me try that today.
Hey, Keandra. Keandra said, I don't feel like you have to go to church to believe in God and higher spirits. You have to find a balance in yourself, too. Church can be a hot mess. I said that, too, baby, before you came on. I said, I got God all around me, God in my house. I pray every day. I don't need to be in the church to do that. Latoya said, that's why I thank God. What you do? Will you stop touching stuff?
It's so big. It's going to cover your face.
That's why I thank God I have a praying mother, because I used to be in church hard, and I'm honest. One say I'm a backslider and not perfect, but I do feel more harm and storms come in your life when you play with God. So I feel when one is ready, they know for self and then will cry out. It don't mean you're not a believer or have faith, but I feel one will feel where and whom they comfortable with. I think the Spirit lets you know. That's true. You have to know God for yourself. And like I said earlier, nobody is perfect. I've been into the church, backslid, and all kinds of stuff, but my faith never changes, And that's why I said earlier, God is a forgiving God. It's the people who don't forgive. So if you worry about the people, you're going to always be stressed out about something. I don't worry about people. I worry about people.
Felicia said power is greater than sex for most.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
I would definitely agree with that one, Felicia. I totally agree with that one.
Let's see. What'd you say, Keisha? Keisha said, well, dang. Hold on, y'all. Okay. Do you think these big mega churches have cult tendencies with the big money and stature in church today, or is it a money thing? I think it's a money thing. It's always been a money thing. So, because my thing is, it's a money thing. Just like, you go to a certain church, they got 4 different services. And I got into it with a person one time because she was like, he don't even take salaries anymore. He take love offerings. I said, well, love offerings ain't got to be reported to the IRS. So therefore, if I got 17 to 20,000 members per service, and I got 4 services, and each person give $1, that's 20 bands. So she got mad. Now he ain't doing any of that. I was like, look, I'm not about to argue with you about this. I just know that I need this little change I got, and I'm gonna have to keep it because he's doing pretty well from what I could see. And ain't nobody in the church the money.
Most of the pastors don't pay no bills, no way. I mean, you think about it. The church pays for the pastor because the pastor is the pastor of the church. So the pastor lives a pretty good life.
The pastor lives a wonderful life.
I don't think they should be going out buying 14 karat gold toilet seats, though.
She said, do you think, hey, Pastor Monroe Jeter? She said, so do you think polygamy is a sin? That's when a man can have more than one wife. But
but in some religions it's not. You think in Muslim? Yeah, that's what some Bibles say.
It is. Yep, tax-free money. Yep. I know you do, Pastor Gina. She said, I pay my own bills. Well, I know that.
But some people do. Some of the higher pastors with the big amount of churches. Now you got Eddie Long, you got not TDJs, you got Creflo Dollar. They got 14 karat gold toilets. The average person in their church probably ain't sitting on a 14 karat gold toilet.
You know what he told?
And why your ass got to be 14 karat anyway?
No, what he told his congregation that he needed all this money to get him another helicopter.
And that's ridiculous.
Anyway, yeah, Randy said the Bible.
Jesus just walked around and preached.
Okay,
I didn't do that, Vaughn.
I'm trying to tell you what these person said. The Bible tells us to put trust in no man. This is a one-on-one relationship with God. Keep your eyes off man and keep your focus on the Lord. On another note, I like what you're doing. Be blessed. Thank you, Randy, and I agree with that. That's what we were talking about earlier. You have to know God for yourself. And even though a man, is a pastor or a preacher, or whatever you want to call him, he's still a man. And a man's flesh is weak just like a woman's anytime. And if a woman offers a man or comes at him so many times, I don't care what he is or how holy or religious he is, he's going to eventually bite. That's just a fact. That's almost any man, unless he's gay. So yeah, yep. So you have to know God for yourself, and you can't let what somebody in the church dictate to you. You can't let a person, just because they say they're in the church and they showing you one thing, like, telling you shouldn't be doing this or you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't judge anybody because you don't know what that person is going through, and they don't know exactly who you are, what you're doing. They just know who you are in this church behind closed doors. But if you see them out in the streets, they could be a whole different beast. And you're right, Panky, you have to use your own discernment. God gives us that.
Use your own discernment. Yep.
God gives us discernment.
And that is so true. You cannot go to church for people because you'll never go to church. If you go to church where you'll never go because it's a whole bunch of hypocrisy in them churches, honey.
Antonia, why you always coming on when we about to get out, baby? You was cooking and you done missed a whole lot.
I was cooking.
Oh, you're going to have to go back.
You missed the whole show, honey.
You got to go back and check it out.
And what you was cooking, honey, while I'm over here starving.
To answer your questions as best we can. But y'all, this has been a good topic, and I've picked up a lot from it. But I just see how people are and what people do and how they want to judge everybody. Don't throw stones if you live in a glass house. That's all I'm saying.
Right. You walk your own path. Stop being, making people else's life hard and hell because you want yours to be so perfect. But you're never going to go to a church where people's not going to look down on you. It's always going to be somebody thinking they're better. It's always going to be somebody thinking they're holier. So if you go and walk your own walk and have your own truth and don't worry about nobody, you're going to be just fine, honey. I can tell you that right now. This is just how it works. Stop making people stress you out and bring you down. I had too many people coming on Facebook saying, oh, I needed a word today because I couldn't get through the day. No, you get through the day. Don't stop making people bother you.
Right.
You keep on pushing. That's what we do here. We keep on pushing.
Jeffrey said, all depends on that. All depends on that man. I tell God, people know the Lord for yourself. Our job is to encourage and build the people's spirit up. That's daily. If you see somebody, you try to give an encouraging word, but everybody doesn't do that. I try to speak life and speak positive things to the people that I talk to.
And
But
some people don't want to hear it. Thank you, Sophia.
they
Some people don't
don't.
want to hear don't want to hear nothing. They just you have people just have negative energy and they like to just bring you down. That's what they here for. That's what they do. You just got to stop letting them get to you.
I tell somebody, man, take your negative self on away from me. I'm the positive vibes over here. I don't need none of that. And you're right, Latoya. I said that too earlier. Sweep around your
Latoya says, sweep around your own front door.
Yeah.
People sure come try to tell you how to live your life and their life be wrong.
Ooh, that sounds so good.
Antonio said somebody can't find him.
He said, well, Shelly, to answer your question, smothered turkey wings, mashed potatoes, and cornbread stuffing. Lord, it sounds good. And we like to eat. But yeah, or there's another topic for
Please tell me you live somewhere near Georgia.
So
why do some men feel it's fine to call women hoes? Oh, we talked about that. That's one of our topics coming up, Orlando.
Yeah, we got that coming.
I so can't stand it though.
Hanky said we all have our own personal relationship with God. Yep, we said that too. But that's what I said. I talked to him myself.
We should.
Yeah. Thank you, Chris. He said good night. He loves the show. Keep it up. Proud of my melanin-induced sister doing good things.
Thank you. Please remember everybody to like and share. Our hour is up.
What? We on time, y'all.
Everybody for coming on. Thank you for the love. We are on time, y'all. Last night we got off track. It was a very heavy hell show. We got through it. But thank you all. Latoya said something. I don't want to cut her off when she's talking. So read what Latoya said real quick. We'll answer her.
Let me say. She said, I'm 39, but I love and listen to older women and men because you never know. Hold on. You never know some of their knowledge of life experience may help you. So I don't judge anyone because these days and times it's so many people that play a role and go behind closed doors living a secret life. So I try to learn the Lord for myself. And you're absolutely right, Latoya. And Sophia says, if you can always try to plant a good seed in someone's ear, if it's only, girl, you're doing great and don't give up. I agree with that. I think we need to try to encourage, especially
with that.
The times that we're living in. Everybody needs an encouraging word. Everybody, it's so much bad things, and then the world is so evil.
He said, I'm off then.
And people are so mean and so cruel. It don't cost you nothing to be kind to somebody or say a nice word to somebody.
To be kind.
It doesn't cost you anything.
Mm-hmm. It really doesn't. I mean, you never know. And you never know what your word might mean to somebody. Some people's word means everything. You could have somebody about to jump off a bridge and you say one thing that just makes their whole world. And we try to come on my page, Vonda's page. We try to encourage people, hey, y'all stay focused. And people hate when you put your own damn picture up. I mean, it's crazy the stuff people hate on. People hate on me and Vonda now for doing this show, and we get a lot of negative. But like we said, we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to keep on pushing. We're going to keep Shelly Live and Vonda Bird going through what we're going through and try touching as many lives as we can with what we do.
That's the only thing we can do. Keisha said, good night, ladies. We can't wait for your next show. Beautiful ladies, and thank you for talking about things we need, things that we as people are afraid to talk about. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Latoya said, y'all show need a TV show. Y'all cover great topics. I love it. Thank y'all. And hey, Stan. Let's see. Jeffrey said, amen. Why get on? Because you can learn from anyone. You did awesome, like always. Thank you. Thank you, Timothy. Thank you, Sophia.
I'll say Timothy. Thank y'all so much once again for coming on and supporting our page. Please remember to like and share our video, like and share our page. Please make sure to go to Shelly Live and V Lovebirds homepage, Naughty But Nice, and like and share that page as well. This is what builds us in this community. This is what makes us who we are. We want to keep this going. We want to keep it going as long as we can. And maybe someday we will have a talk show. We're working our way. We're walking on entry, honey. We ain't God's hands now, baby. And on that note, we're going to end this song with.
Oh, Antonio, we're on Monday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 8 p.m. Thank you, Orlando. You like the curls. You said you wanted some curls. I gave you some curls.
Everybody wants you to rock with me, y'all. We're going to move out on this note.
Yes, ma'am. We're going to claim that thing. I love this song.
And I just want to testify and make it crystal clear. You see, I've been picked out to be picked on. Talked about, I'm for real now. I've been picked out to turn my life around.
We'll post it Sunday.
Seems like I always fall short of being worthy. But I ain't good enough.
Right.
But he still loves me.
We love y'all.
I ain't no
Join us on Monday again at 8 p.m. and we will post the topic on Sunday. And also next Thursday we won't be broadcasting on Thursday. We're going to be broadcasting from the cabin on Friday. And it's Couples Chronicles. So we're going to do couples and we're going to do a couple show. So that should be very, very good. So I'm going to tell y'all to tune in.
Everybody's got opinions. They fit in my position. That breaks my heart when I hear what they have to say about me.
Cause I ain't good enough, but he still loves me. I ain't no superstar.
Thank you, Wanda.
Ain't shining on me.
And y'all remember, if you got topics that you're interested in, hit our inbox and we'll get to them and we'll talk about it. And no topic is off limits. And this is a no judgment zone. So with that being said, Michelle want to do a concert. So we're going to tell y'all good night. We love y'all. And we will see you guys on Monday. And thank you for tuning in. And please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Good night, y'all.
Good night, y'all. We love y'all. Shabab and be loved, loving life and loving what we do as always.